I am from Temple of Balance, and this is our healing, personal healing event for my May patrons. Thank you so much, May patrons, for your support. I have 6 people on my list today, but before I start, because I'm a couple of minutes early, I was very inspired to just spend a few minutes playing the chakra chimes just to help calm things down if needed, help us connect, just maybe help lift our spirits or whatever might be needed, whatever you might need. So I'll talk more about what I'm doing in this video shortly, but I just want to spend the next few minutes playing the chakra chimes. So take a nice big breath. There's nothing you can do wrong, just listen and let the sound of the chakra chimes surround you and support you. Maybe imagine breathing the sound into your body and allow it to bring to you what you need right now in this moment. So, nice big breath. We'll start from the heart as pretty much always. So, nice big breath. So take a nice big breath. I trust the chimes have helped you in whatever way you need it in this moment. Good morning. Hi, Carlee. Hello, Butterfly Swirl. It's Marianne. I love that butterfly swirl. It sounds something like something yummy, something sweet and yummy. Welcome everybody. It's lovely to connect with you today. So this is our personal healing event, which happens towards the end of each month. It is especially for some of my Temple of Balance patrons. So this month we have 6 people on the list for personal healing, and I have your names here in my little pot. So I'll be pulling your name out in a minute. I'll be pulling a healing energy card at the beginning of the connection and also towards the end of connection. And then I'll tune in and see what's loudest in your vibration. So I'm very sensitive to energy, and I've been doing this work for a long time. It feels nothing really special to me. I feel like we could all connect in our different ways of connection, our different ways we intuit or pick up subtle energies. So what I've worked out that works for me over the years is that I know how I feel. So I know the sort of configuration of my body and my energy. I know myself really well. So when I know myself really well, then when I tune into you, I will know what I don't usually feel in my body. And it probably sounds a bit strange, but it works for me. So when I say your name, and as I'm starting to connect, and of course I have your permission to do so, then I start feeling things happening in my body or energy moving. I might get visuals or flashes or sort of scenes that play out in my mind's eye, which I'll also talk about. So I really trust in the flow, and I trust in the unfolding, and I trust that whatever you need will come forward for you today. Whatever's loudest in your vibrations, or whatever sort of stands out the most, is going to be what gets my attention first. I can't hold back with anything. I can't decide privately in my head that I'm not going to say something, because it blocks the energy straight away. So I'm very open with the way I connect, and also the energy and information I'm getting. Sometimes I'll get a weird image and I've just got to talk through it to get that to move and show to me what it's, starting to bring through. So that can be interesting. And I don't take on other people's stuff. So I connect in the moment that I'm connecting, and then as soon as I finish, then I detach. I have very strong boundaries, as any sensitive person has to have. I think that's all I really need to say. So I'll connect with each person for around 10 minutes, depending on what's coming through. And that means I'll be here for about a good part of an hour. So if you want to stay and hang about, then please do. If you're on my list, then I look forward to connecting with you. If you're not on my list, or if you're waiting for your turn, I'm sure it's no accident you happen to be here. So if I was you listening or watching, and I was waiting for my turn, or I wasn't on the list at all, I'd be trusting that I'm here for a reason. And I'd be really considering and being super aware of what my body's feeling and what I'm responding to that's happening. So there might be little snippets and little parts within other people's connections that are meant for you as well. I get emails about that stuff all the time. So don't be surprised if that happens. So just because your name's not attached to something that's being said doesn't mean there's not something in it for you, potentially, if you're open to it. If you're open to it. If you don't believe that's the case, then you're not going to notice anything. So it really just depends how open you are. Okay, the first person I'm connecting with is this person here, which is sorry, Carlee. I saw C-A-R, but it's actually Carol White. So Carol, take a nice big breath. Let's get ourselves ready. So I'm pulling a healing energy card. I've literally just finished 5 minutes, probably 10 minutes before I started this stream. I just finished getting the last of my second healing energy cards into card format, just very rough card format. So I'm thinking next month, when I connect with this healing event next month, that I'll be using my templates, my new deck templates, the new healing energy cards and the second deck. So that's exciting. I'll get them printed. Just a test run on Monday, I think. Oh, what day is it? No, it's Tuesday. I thought it was Friday. Oh, I'll get it some point. Okay, Carol, take a nice big breath. Let's see what comes up for you. So, all right. So I start tuning in the moment I really start shuffling my cards. Sometimes things come in when I'm shuffling, other times they don't until I tune in. So, Carol, your best card as we start this connection is here. Hi, Lynn. This is Lynn in L9S Angels. Can I please have a card? Oh, I'm sorry, Lynn. This is for particular people who have registered and have actually paid for this connection. So I trust that you're here for a reason and something connects with you that's been shared. But I don't pull cards on my videos anyway for people randomly. Okay, Carol, card 52, Soothing is your card. So this brings emotional balance, emotional stability as well. That's been encouraged through this card. So take a nice big breath and we'll see what's happening in your energy. Okay, it feels a little bit like energies, no worries. It feels like energy's a little bit, I want to say all over the place at the moment. I can feel this very strong energy, it's very, almost like a plank of wood. So it's very structured, very strong, very dense in its feeling, and it's coming down here on the left side and just here into this left side of your neck, we could say. There's also energy that feels like it's pulling in here from the right side, and energy that's moving down on a diagonal from the left shoulder and down across your chest and down out from your waist and hips on the right side. And these all feel like planks of wood. So that energy is very dense and quite heavy. And yeah, it feels like there's a lot that's going on. So it feels a bit kind of, there's this pushed and pulled at feeling at the moment. As things are coming in, things are going out, things are coming in, things are going out. And there's just all this sort of energy that seems to be a little bit disruptive at the moment. So what I want to do is pull out these planks of wood or these sort of solid energies that are coming through. I want to remove those and then we'll get you nice and aligned is the feeling here. So I want to start by taking out this left plank of wood or this energy that I feel here that's coming in very straight down here on the left side. So this is very easy to just knock off its position and knock forward, and it just falls to the ground where it just returns back to love. And actually, as I do that, there's energy, quite uncomfortable energy that's stirring here in the heart. And it feels like this just really wants to stretch open. So I feel all this in and out sort of energy, this thing's been a bit all over the place. I feel like it's having an effect energetically on your heart. And it feels quite tight through here. So I feel like I want to really open and stretch the energy out here for you through the heart. So as I'm talking about that, we're now able to access this other plank of wood, this other energy that moves through and over onto the left shoulder. So just pulling that out quite easily, dropping it to the ground. You're not holding on to any of this stuff because it doesn't feel like it's nailed in or fused in or anything. It's moving out actually very easily. So it might also be a way of just managing and coping with this, just the everyday stuff that you're dealing with. This energy coming in, this energy coming out, and the disruption that sort of feels like it makes to find your alignment in that disruption, in that in and out energy. I don't know if that makes sense. So as I'm talking about this energy here in your heart now is starting to get a bit heavier. So it's starting to get a little bit more painful, we could say. It's a little bit more sensitive and tender. That's probably a better word, actually. A bit more tender here through your heart. And now let's look at taking out this other plank of wood. There's also some energy coming around the head, which feels like a pressure that's building up around the head. It's starting to feel like a bit headachy through here. So there's a mental energy too that's playing out here. And maybe the mental investment that you're making in this daily in and out sort of energy, maybe that's part of the release too, as we're releasing these planks of wood and this energy that this represents. So this other plank, it feels like almost like a sash or something that you're wearing, but it comes down here from the left shoulder down to your left hip, just below your waist across your body, and we just pull that out. Now it's on the diagonal. Pull it out on the diagonal and place that too down to the earth where it returns back to love, and all this energy dissolves around you. Oh wow. And now it's shifting energy here in the throat. So there might be things here that need to be clarified, things here that need to be said or spoken to help you stay in alignment with this everyday stuff, this everyday in and out sort of chaotic energy that's, it feels a bit frazzling sometimes. So the energy that's shifting in your throat is very interesting, that's connecting here with this energy. What I feel like it wants to come in and just moving, your body wants to be in alignment. so it can function in your everyday frazzled, sometimes disruptive energy, so it can oh, what is the word I'm looking for? So it can function in that sort of scenario or that environment. And it doesn't feel toxic, it just feels a little disruptive and a little bit frazzled sometimes, perhaps a little busy and hectic. So take a nice big breath and let's bring your energy now into alignment. So I'm feeling like your energy consolidate here into your spine, so into that central column that runs from your base, the base of your spine, your tailbone, all the way up your body and up through the center of your face to the, or inside your head, up to your crown chakra. So I feel all the energies like little sparkles, little fragments of yourself coming in and gathering here in this center point. So these little frayed parts of yourself coming in together and finding center. It's a bit like having a piece of fabric that's been frayed on the edges, so then folding that in and sewing it together so it becomes almost consolidated and almost solid and less frayed in itself. That's the feeling here. So bringing this energy in, you're moving into alignment very quickly. And this is all just collecting almost like it's magnetizing here to your central column. So just take a nice big breath. And as you're breathing, breathe up and down your body. So maybe also up and down your spine or that central column to help bring you into alignment, front and back, side to side. Making sure your head is nice and straight, your shoulders nice and square on, your hips nice and square on too, and your feet nice and firmly planted on the ground and in the here and now. And just letting yourself find calm and ground. There's a lot of grounding that's coming in now as you're moving into alignment. So let's see which other card wants to come up here to finish this off for you, Carol. So the best card to add here at the end is this here. Observation. Okay, this is about growth. So this is about growing outside or growing beyond or bursting free, bursting through from your limitations. This is growth. So if you were a tree that was trying to grow in this wooden crate or this wooden box that you were sort of growing and you're starting to twist and turn and getting crammed into because you can't grow any further than what this box allows. So what I'm feeling with this card is it's about breaking down that box, breaking down your limitations, breaking down the confines, which to me feels back to that wooden energy that I was talking about before, and this disruptive sort of frazzled energy that takes place, maybe the stresses of your everyday environment that is really in some ways limiting your growth. So as we release these types of things, as you break down this box, this limitation that's holding you back, you're going to allow yourself to grow. And in a lot of ways, that's what we've done. We've brought you back into alignment, which is back into that trunk sort of energy. So bring you back into like your core, that trunk that keeps you grounded, keeps you aligned. It keeps you balanced as well and centered. But it also is like a foundation to help you grow personally, growing in your life, and also grounding yourself further into the earth. So because your life and your daily life is likely quite hectic and busy and stressful and frazzling, you might find you need to, make some time most days to realign yourself and to reconnect with yourself, perhaps in nature or whatever you see reflected in nature back to you. So I trust this supports you. Thanks so much, Carol, for allowing me to connect with you today. Okay, let's see who is next. Next on my list is this person. It's Susan Sonsteng. Susan, take a nice big breath and let's see what comes up for you today. So the best healing energy card. I'm feeling energy moving in your shoulders, especially around the back of your shoulder blades as I'm shuffling. And we've got this card here, which is this stability. Okay, so this is grounding as well, and stability. This is your solid foundations that you're creating at this time, and things connected with your physical world most likely too. But there's energy moving across the back of your shoulders, and I feel like I want to chip it away, like it's become like concrete that used to be liquid, but it feels like it's set. And it's just created a little bit of a covering here over your shoulder blades, which we could say is also over the back of your heart. So this is likely connected with old burdens that you've been carrying from your past, and likely connected in with your heart. So things that are close to your heart or sit close to your heart from the past. So this covering, I feel like I want to chip it away, and it starts to crumble already just from talking about this. It's not very thick. It feels fairly fresh, even though it's connected with the past. It doesn't feel like, sometimes when I connect with this sort of energy, it can be very hard, like stone sort of thing. So even though it's connected with the past, it's also quite crumbly and fairly new in the grand scheme of things. So I just feel like I want to get a little pick and just start picking away at this dried up concrete across your shoulder blades. So just allowing that to crumble away and be picked away as it drops down the back of your body and down to the earth where it returns back to love. It's very dusty, so there's a lot of dry air kind of energy with this, which tells me there's a strong connection here with your mental state that's connected to with this energy. So your mind that's probably also been keeping it in play. So just allowing that to crumble away, and just feel like I'm brushing now the last parts of that off and the last little bits of dust, and that then drops down to the earth where it returns back to love. And now I'm being drawn down to your tailbone, right down here at the base of your spine. This is your center for grounding your physicality, and also your survival instincts or your survival needs will connect down in with your base chakra down at your tailbone. So there's likely something going on around your survival at this time. And I feel this old energy that's sitting in here too, and it does feel like a little perfectly round stone or pebble that's sitting in here at your tailbone, and it feels a little lumpy, like it's sitting in there, almost like a lump in your throat, but it's down in your tailbone, which is interesting. So this likely represents something old that you've been sitting on and perhaps keeping bottled up or private about things that have been playing out, especially in regards to your survival. So you'd be looking at things like finances, your home space or your living space, having enough money for food and keeping the lights on, all that sort of stuff, keeping a roof over your head, being safe and protected as well. So all those things that are very primal and connect with our basic survival needs. So there's something it feels like you're sitting on here, and it feels like I can feel like I'm sitting on it now as I connect with it. So it's like that, the princess and the pea, and that pea that feels like a little rock in her bed, even though she's got a lot of mattresses on top of it. So I can feel the lump of this here. And it feels perfectly smooth as I connect with it. It is like a river stone. It's just been perfectly polished and tumbled. And yeah, let's get this out. So I feel like I want to move in here into your base chakra and grab onto this river stone and pull it out of your tailbone, out of your base chakra. And I pull it out and hold it in my hand. And it's this perfectly, it feels like very white, very smooth river stone and very round. And it's left what feels to be a bit like a gaping hole here in your base chakra. So just filling that up now with some really nice gentle energy that feels very creamy, so very like a soft white that's coming in and just filling up that space where the stone was, and then extending out a little bit. And there's energy that's continuing to move in your base chakra. So with this stone, I feel like I want to, I don't know, for some reason, just rub it through the hands. And as I'm rubbing it in my hands, it feels like it's disintegrating and just crumbling away. It's just sort of wearing down, and yeah, it just dissolves, it vanishes. And this is actually activating your healing hands too. So I feel like there's some healing energy that's coming through for you. And this energy of what you do with your hands, so you're creating or you're making of things, your communication as well with your hands feels to be important. So this is taking the lesson of what this stone represents and actually use it into making and expressing and creating things in your life as a positive, you know, like a lesson learned of what you've grown or how you've become a better person because of this experience. So really it feels too, because it's connected with your survival and your base chakra, it feels like bringing this energy into your hands will help you apply the changes and apply the things that you need to do to help with your survival, to help with your health or your finances or keeping that roof over your head. So there's a real practicality feeling that's coming in as this energy sits very, you know, and very active here in your hands. So you might feel that you're really motivated to get into doing something that will help you help yourself. That's the sort of feeling that's coming in here. So yeah, your hands are ready to go. Let's see, Susan, which card here wants to be added. So what do we need to add here to finish up is, and your tailbone just feels like it's tingling at the moment with this new energy coming in, plus it's almost like transferring the energy from sitting in it and maybe sitting in it privately to, okay, what can I do about this? How can I make this situation better? How can I, you know, what can I do? What can I make? What can I communicate to get this ball rolling instead of sitting on it and holding stuck in it, if that makes sense. It's like a transference of energy. So your best card here for you, Susan, is this here. Ancestral inspiration. Okay, so this brings a connection in with your bloodline or your family line for healing at this time. So this is likely showing that there is a connection with what I was talking about around the back of your heart or the shoulder blades or your tailbone that's likely connected in with your family. Or your bloodline. So what you're being encouraged to do is look at that, especially if that resonates with you, look at that a little deeper and see how deeply this goes. You might find that the issues you're having now can actually, if you reflect on your family and what you've observed from your family, you might find that there is a pattern or something that's been repeating itself in the family. So what can you learn from that experience or that vantage point that you have now, looking back and observing how people that you knew went through something? How did they handle it? Do you feel you could do it in a better way than that? What do you feel? So it feels like there's a thread, there's a connection here with your family, your bloodline. So thank you so much, Susan. I trust this resonates, and thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. Okay, let's see who is next. We've got this person. This person is David Magness. David, take a nice big breath. I'm not sure if you're watching. I haven't seen you comment, but I'll just have a drink. And let's see what comes up for you, David. So nice big breath. Okay. And there's a easing feeling that's coming in, like a soothing, like I'm feeling as I shuffle, almost like someone is putting really lovingly this very sacred, old, like traditional blanket over your shoulders and up around the back of your head to keep you keep you comforted, keep you at ease, to keep you calm. So there's a lot of support that's coming in. I feel like it's coming in from your loved ones in spirit, and it feels like a family blanket, like a like a quilt, like a patchwork quilt, something that's been passed down. Now I'm not saying it's a literal thing like this, but it feels like it's the love, the support from all of your ancestors and your loved ones in spirit. So David, let's see which healing energy card we're going to focus on to start with. And it's self-love. And this is really not surprising, because I feel this energy here that when I drew this, it was like the the ceiling, the sky opened up, and this pair of golden healing hands came down and scooped me up and took me up into this other world up here. That's where this drawing originated, from a meditation vision I had. But this energy, this golden light, it feels like this blanket. So in this case, it feels like it's coming down and it's comforting you, wrapping itself all around your body to help you feel comfort. That word comfort feels so like the best word that I can find to describe this right now for you, David, is comfort. I don't even want to say comfortable, like it's comfort. So there is a comfort that's coming in from your loved ones, and according to this card too, there's probably a connection here with self-love and how you're seeing or how you're treating yourself as well. So feeling this blanket coming in and wrapping around, and you're holding it really tightly here over your heart. It makes me feel that you've probably been feeling a little alone or isolated or a bit stuck or even a little flat in your energy, and that this energy of comfort is coming in to support you as you ride this wave, as you go through this phase, if you like. There's energy as far as your hips down to your feet. It feels very low in energy through here. So you've probably been feeling quite inactive, maybe quite unmotivated in general recently, maybe quite ungrounded too. Maybe, the ungrounded feeling. So what I want to do is extend this warmth of the and comfort of the blanket, extend it down to the rest of your body, so especially from your hips down your legs. So this area of your body is usually to help you help motivate you to move or take action in your life, to take steps forward, steps out of the past, to keep you grounded in your physical body and your physical life. And if you're not feeling like there's much to live for right now, or you're not feeling very motivated and you're feeling quite flat or low in yourself, then it actually does in some ways drain the energy out of the legs energetically. So what I feel, I want to extend the blanket down, but I also want to bring up and call up the energy from the earth. So I feel the covering, if you like, from the blanket, even though it's not just a mere covering, it feels like it contains an aura, an essence about it that is permeating into your body too. But it feels like it's an outer coating, and extending this down, so almost drawing the blanket down further around your legs and around your feet as well. So from the outside, bringing in this comfort, this sort of shell of support and protection and a reassurance that everything's going to be okay. I feel really emotional as I say that, and I really want and hope you can feel that, the truth in that everything is going to be okay. So as I say that, I feel the energy coming up from the earth, and it's coming into the soles of your feet like a fluffy, cloudy, wispy, misty energy, but not damp. And it feels red-brown, and it's just starting to almost like smoke, I suppose. And it's coming up through your soles of your feet and up into your body from the inside. So it feels like it's coming up through your bones on both sides of your feet and up into your legs, up into your knees, and up into your upper parts of your legs, your thighs, and up and sitting in your hips. And it just then comes to settle. And then it marries or merges really nicely with this outer covering, this comfort energy of this blanket that you're being wrapped in and held in and supported in. So nice grounding and comfort that's coming in, a reassurance that everything's going to be okay. And let's see which card we're going to add here with this, David. So just hold. It feels like this wants to hold for maybe a few days at least. So allow yourself to feel the comfort and the support, the reassurance of what's happened for you. And the best card to add here is this one here, which is Sacred Love. This is self-love. This is taking self-love deeper. So we had the other self card, this sort of primal, we could say, beginnings of self-love, but not really beginnings. But this feels like more of an advanced version, if you like. So it's like an upgrade from that other card. So feeling that comfort, feeling that support that's coming in, that encouragement to think more kindly about yourself and your life, is going to a new level with this card. So as you allow yourself to feel that comfort and that support, and you let yourself be in that for probably the next few days, you'll find too that you start feeling more like a regeneration feelings coming up. We feel regenerated, revived again. So it's okay. It's okay. And of course there's love connected with this card too, and love in the other one as well. So thanks, David. I trust this resonates with you and helps you at this time. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, let's see who's next. Who's next? I've got 3 more people on my list. And next is Annick Beal. So Annick, please take a nice big breath. Okay. Ooh. Okay, this feels different. I feel already, I can feel a motivation coming in, like a shaking things off and getting things shook up. So your best healing energy card, Annick, is this here. It's this. I am expanding. So here we go. We've got this motivational energy coming in as well in this card. So it shows that you're expanding and that you're growing. And there's something that's shaking up. There's something that's been shaken up, and maybe an old thing that's been shaken up maybe for the last few months. And I feel like things are shaking into position. It's really weird, but it feels like a shaking machine in your life and in your body right now. And it's been shaking out old things, especially old structures that wouldn't stand up to the shake, that wouldn't stand up to the move. These have been sort of shaken apart and shaken away, like they've been shaken off the table and just removed from your life. And I feel like this shaking has also brought some new things to be, some new configurations, some new structures, some new ways that have come to be from this shaking. So it's a really strange feeling, but there is a lot of things that have been shaken up and shaking out, shaking in. So I feel like you're at the end of this sort of shaking energy, which is very strange. I don't think I've ever felt this sort of feeling before. So things are shaking into position. In other words, things are moving into position exactly where they need to be. And I see that things are almost lined up. So they're almost lined up. So this is the last phase, I suppose we could say, of this shaking period where things are shaking out and things are shaking in. So things are almost in alignment, because I can see right here this pending straight line. So it's so close. Things are just about in position and just about where they need to be. Lined up. And we're talking about your life's path here, because I feel like this alignment, it feels very much on the horizontal axis, which to me talks about your life's path. So your life's path, everything's coming together, it's coming into place just as it needs to. You might find that there's still a few little things that are shaking out, and that's going to allow new things to shake in as things lock into place, like a puzzle that you're building, like a line of a puzzle that's just going ahead in front of you. Feels like the pieces are coming into position. Okay, so you've got a hand, it feels like, over your lower back, so behind your sacral chakra, which is just below your navel, and this is your center for emotional, sexual, creative energy. But it feels like there's a really loving hand behind this, your lower back, and this hand is gently urging and guiding, and we could say pushing you into this path and into that which is aligning up. So there is a guide, we could say. You're being guided in, you're being pushed, but it's not a hard push yet, or it may not ever be either, but it just feels like it's a push. But when I say push, it's not forceful. It feels just like a persuasion, you're being encouraged, you're being just this sort of push feeling to get into that, what is getting into alignment. So you might find over these next few days that things start to become clearer about your next steps, getting into that alignment of your life's path. And I feel like by the time you do that, things are already going to be in position, is the feeling here. So there's this strong feeling of readiness for you to do it, and readiness probably to dive in or step into something brand new that you've been thinking about or working on for a while. I feel like this is also connected here, but I feel like the path is long that is aligning. So this shaking has shifted things, but it's long into your future, if you like. It's quite a distance into your life's path is what I'm seeing. So very interesting. Let's have a look and see what this other card wants to add here for you, Annick. So your best card to add at this point, and just make sure you're looking straight at that path. You're not looking back too much on what happened or things like this. I feel like make sure you're looking ahead feels to be important. So your best card to add here is this, which is self-acceptance. Interesting. Interesting. It says true acceptance of self, stomach area healing, sacral and solar plexus chakra. So this is about finding acceptance of the things that you've had to shuffle out, or the things that were shaken out and the things that are shuffling in. So accepting the things that are coming and going, we could say, the things that have been released and the things that are coming in, so the new things and the old things. It feels like acceptance will also help you see or become focused on where you are going. So that one step at a time, but following what is in alignment. So following what feels right and trusting in the urge and the pushes that you have, because I feel like these are, it's a really important path that you're stepping on now, is what I'm feeling. So I trust that makes sense for you, Annick. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you today. Okay, let's see who's next. We've got two people in here. We have KantiDevi next. KantiDevi, take a nice big breath. So if you would love to be a part of this next month, then please have a look at my Patreon page, which is in the video description. And it's the $20 level. Will give you access to this healing event and other things. If you can't find it, or if you've got questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Or if you just want to watch next time, you're very welcome to. It will be towards the end of June. Wowzers. Okay, Kanti, your best card for now is this. Reunion. And this is very self-explanatory for what you've been going through. Reunion. So it feels like you're about to be reunited with someone. You're going to be reunited with something that you have grieved for, felt disconnected from, or felt pulled away from. So there is this feeling of reunion coming in, and the mixed bag of emotions that you're probably going to be feeling feels big. I mean, it feels like a big sack full of emotion and full of feeling that you have about this reunion. So I feel like you're carrying this big sack of emotion on your back, like Santa Claus holding this big sack of presents. So maybe these emotions are presents, but you're holding it, it feels over your left shoulder, holding it on with your left hand. It feels like a red sack, weirdly enough. So red would connect in with your physical life and things happening in your body, but also in your life itself, and the reunions that are taking place in your life that you're looking forward to. So I want to take this sack off because it feels like it's really heavy to be carrying this around all the time, at the moment anyway, over your shoulder. So just bringing that off and just letting it sit on the ground, and it's full. So all these emotions look like little balloons that are sitting in this sack, all different colored balloons, some small, some big, some huge, some heavy, some light. And this is just a big sack of balloons. So the balloons representing all these emotions, which is interesting because emotions tend to show up for me very watery. So usually, muddy or wet energy is very emotional, whereas air is usually very mental. So even though this feels like a bag of emotion, when we look at it and we're seeing all these balloons blown up with air, that actually tells me that actually this is also a bag of thoughts. So not just emotions, but also thoughts. So your beliefs, your fear, your insecurities, your resistances to reunite, that bittersweet sort of energy too that wants to come in. So there is a mental link here and an emotional link with the same thing, or the same sack of emotions and thoughts we can now add to it. So looking in here, it actually looks a bit like a treasure chest, and it feels like there are treasures, there are presents in this sack of emotion, intense emotions and intense thought that you're having at the moment or at this time. I'm seeing a lot of really light pink balloons, so this is a lot of support and a lot of love that's coming in for you to support you as you move into these stages and these final steps of reuniting with your life past and people that you loved from the past that you've been ripped away from in recent months and this last year or so. So in here I want to pull a sort of like part the balloons, because I feel like there's a treasure or a present in here, and I feel like it feels to be right at the bottom, which feels like almost Mary Poppins bag that's endless. There's no bottom on here, but I know that we'll find it. So I just actually want to reach down into the bag with my arm, because I can't see that far down to the bottom without pulling everything out. But I feel like I just want to move my arm down there. And on the other side of this bag is another hand. So I feel like I want to grab this hand. And I feel like this represents you reaching into your emotions and your thoughts, especially the big bag, mixed bag of them that you've got going most likely at the moment, especially in regards to your reunion. And I'm imagining this is your hand reaching in, and you're not going to get bitten by the sharks, or there's not some bear trap in there, but actually at the bottom here is a hand. I feel you holding this hand, and as you hold this hand, all these tingles go up your arm, all the way up your arm and into your heart, where it moves into your heart like this swirl of pinky, soft pink energy, but it's very galactic feeling too. So there feels to be a lot of sort of, sprinkles of stars that are spiraling around here into your heart. And this hand, it feels like you just don't want to let it go. And you probably feel like that when you reunite, that you just don't want to let this go, and at least initially, because of what happened and you being pulled out of that comfort zone and out of your home, out from the arms of those that you love. So holding on to this hand feels to be a lifeline for you in many ways, and something that you need most likely to reassure yourself and to help you heal from what you've been through in recent months. I don't feel like I can let this hand go. And I would never recommend holding on to things, but it just feels, and it doesn't feel like an unhealthy holding on, it just feels like there's something very reassuring about this hand and holding this hand, and the prospects that being so close to reuniting again. So let it fill your heart, let it nourish you, let it stop the focus being on the weight of the emotions and the thoughts and the what ifs and the questions that you have around all this. Let it be about the connection and how that feeling sits in your heart. It feels beautiful. So I'm going to pull another card here, Kanti. We'll see what wants to be added. And put this card back in. Okay. So let's add here this here. Sacred love again. Yes. So this is very much highlighting that love energy, that reuniting with love, reuniting with where you love to be, the home you love, the people that you love, the person that you love. So that reunion with love And this is actually reuniting you with yourself as well, because you'll be returning back home to yourself. Not that you left yourself, but you can be more of yourself in your home place. And this feels very loving. So this is relationships, it's love, it's self-love, and it's this reuniting, it's this merging of two hearts, this merging of two hands. This is perfect, actually. Absolutely perfect for what we've just done. So thanks, Kanti. I trust this resonates, and thank you so much for your support and for allowing me to connect with you today. So Carlee, I think you are last here, definitely on this list. So Carlee Chirichiello, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. I think it's the best surname I've ever heard. It just seems to be such a beautiful flow. Okay. All right, Carlee, let's see what's coming up for you. So take a nice big breath for me. Okay, really big breath. And as you breathe in, just allow your heart to, oh, what's the word here? Allow your heart to rise. Okay, your best card is this here. The journey, the journey. So this is about your journey towards the unknown and trusting in the steps that you take that will take you to this unknown doorway and whatever is behind it. Nobody knows. It's a question mark right now. Know that you're supported. You have this cheer squad as you take your steps towards the unknown, as you trust in the journey before you. Okay, so Carlee, let's tune in and see what's happening for you. Okay, I'm seeing something strange which doesn't make much sense to me now, so I'm just going to talk about it because it will likely just keep the energy moving. I'm feeling this cross of energy inside your head. So it's back in your head, and it's like a little chopstick. A chopstick of energy that comes down. So from your throat, yeah, it's from your throat to your third eye, like this, but inside. And all my sinuses now are just feeling like really agitated. I'll probably sneeze in a minute. Okay, so a chopstick that comes through here. And then there's another, what feels like a chopstick of energy that comes from ear to ear, inside. It's stirring a lot of really little, minute, oh, but hold on, very deep, small energy, like, you know, when I think of bones, okay, we've got big bones in our thighs, but then we've got these tiny little delicate bones in our hand. So it feels like all are significant, and this energy is also significant, but it feels to be like this minute energy, like, oh gosh, the tickling around the sinuses is almost unbearable. It feels like those little bones in the hand. So we're connecting in very deeply into the very deep, small, intricate parts of your head, face for some reason. I don't know why, but okay, we've got all this sinus stuff shifting. I need to get a tissue. Hold on a second. It's so tickly and movie. Okay, so we've got energy that's connecting here with the ears, and energy that's connecting with third eye and the throat. And there's deep, delicate, intricate energy moving down, or in all these areas. But what I'm really being drawn to now is in the deep, intricate parts of your throat. And it feels up in the higher part of your throat. So almost the back of your mouth sort of feeling, but a little bit further down. Okay, so this is quite strange, but let's just go with it. Okay, all right. So first of all, I'm just establishing whether these chopstick energy things, do they actually need to be there? Are they doing anything important? Is my first question to the energy, if you like. And I feel like, no, we need to get these out. So this feels like energy that's been wedged, like very intricate energy that's been wedged in, that's representing now these sort of chopsticks. And it feels like, because it's coming in on a cross, crosses to me are my symbol for misunderstandings or disagreements or conflict of some type. And it feels like this is connected with some type of conflict. And as I say that, there is energy moving in your solar plexus chakra, which feels really uncomfortable, almost like a dagger that's been put into your pushed into your solar plexus chakra, a really short dagger or a short knife, a pocket knife or something, energetically has been stabbed into your power center. So it feels like that this is connected with some type of issue or conflict or disagreement, misunderstanding, something that I feel like runs quite deep, and it has taken away your power. It's taken away your power to be free, is what I want to say. And so first of all, before we even take these things out, we need to take out this attack, this energy that has pierced your power center and has drained away your power. So I grab the handle. It feels like this knife, this pocket knife sort of energy is still sitting in here. And it feels sharp, and every time you breathe or every second breath that you take, it's just a reminder of that happened. So, you know, it almost feels like it's like you just see the evidence of what happened everywhere around you. But when you're breathing, you could probably feel it too in your body if you're really attentive to it. And I just feel like I want to remove this. So let's take this out and drop this dagger, this pocket knife, this sharp energy to the ground. Now it's covered in blood. If it's anything that's connected with blood to me, in my connections are connected with the bloodline or the family. So there's likely a connection here with the family or the bloodline in regards to this misunderstanding, conflict, and that this has taken or drained out your personal power, your power to be free. So with this taken out, I can feel all this blood, it just energetically just oozing from your solar plexus just above your navel. It's just like gushing out with this blood, but I want to let it happen because I feel like there's so much inner like an inner lava flow, or this inner chamber of it doesn't feel very comfortable. It feels like it's been in there boiling and bubbling and brewing, as like maybe an inner resentment or inner bitterness, and it just needs to, I just need to let it sort of bleed itself out energetically. So this is connected with the bloodline, the family, most likely seeing this much blood anyway. So this is very deeply connected. And as you're sort of bleeding out this old energy, I feel like it moving from the back of your heart, which is where this sort of sack of where it was stored has been sitting. So something very close to your heart that is connected with the past. So just letting this go, letting it go. And so this all now starts to slow down and now dry up. And now you're left with this, we could say, a gaping hole here energetically in your solar plexus chakra. So my spiritual surgeon, Marion, has stepped forward, and he's going to almost seal this area shut, like stitch it up, if you like, but with a sort of laser of energy. So he seals and mends this wound that you've had here over your solar plexus chakra. And he now steps back. So just thanking him. Okay, so now we're ready to deal with this stuff in the head. Okay, so now as I'm tuning into this, there are more chopsticks, if you like. It's like a little scaffolding system, a little miniature scaffolding made out of toothpicks, all inside your head. And, oh gosh, it's shifting that sinus energy again. So tickly. So like all the little parts within your face and within your head are connected somehow to, it's such a strange feeling. It feels foreign, like it shouldn't be there, and it's likely connected with this conflict or misunderstanding from the past. But let's get this energy out, and I feel like the main parts, like the main beams that connects all these little toothpicks together, are these sort of chopsticks of energy in this cross. So let's pull these out first. First of all, let's work through the ears. So I feel like I want to pull this one out the right ear and drop it down to the earth where it returns back to love. It feels quite sharp on the edges, So quite pointy and sharp, that one did at least. So quite piercing deep in the ears. So ears usually connected with what you're hearing, obviously, what you're paying attention to, what you're noticing. It's not just visual, often it's connected with your hearing too. And now this upper energy that's going the other direction. Let me just feel how we're going to get this out. So I want to go down here, the bottom of your chin, just here, down into your neck, do a little bit. This also feels pointy, so it's no longer feeling like a chopstick, but more of maybe a chopstick with pointy edges. And maybe a little bit more like a skewer, but wooden, with pointy edges, sharp edges. So now just pulling this out with a pinch and a pull, and dropping that down to the earth where it returns to love. And all the inner scaffolding here collapses because these two main poles or whatever have been taken out. So I'm feeling all this collapsing of this toothpick sort of scaffolding in your head, and just now bringing that out. It feels like it wants to just come out through your chin and through your jaw. So pulling those out and letting them go. Letting all the little details go, all the intricate parts of the ins and outs of this and that, letting it go, and just letting go through your chin, your jaw, and the upper part of your throat, letting that stuff go and letting that stuff out. And already this whole area is feeling clearer and open, and certainly less tickly and nasally and sinusy, and yeah, the openness here is quite incredible. It feels like we've created space now in your head. And maybe this was really deep thoughts you have, really deep thoughts, and maybe issues that you've been holding quite mentally, because it feels like space has been cleared in your head, which would translate to space has been cleared in your mind. So it feels mind, but usually the mental energies like from the head, just the surface of the head out. But what I'm feeling is this was so deeply inside, and maybe deeply private as well, maybe deeply private that you don't really talk about much, that it has been sitting like very in those very inner parts. So there is a clarity, a space that's coming in here now, a space in your head. And you might feel that you start feeling a little bit more open or aware of things visually and through your hearing as well, of things that are going on around you a little more than you have been lately, perhaps. So Carlee, I trust that resonates. Let's see which card we want to add here. And oh yeah, nice stretches on the neck too. So you probably find this whole area just wants some stretching. You may want to massage it and really reconnecting with this whole head area, even down to sort of your neck, your throat. Okay, so the card here is this one. It is this. Charging. So this is about refueling, recharging yourself up again. So instead of having this energy drain, this power drain that's just been shifted, there is a feeling now you can replenish your energy levels again. Thank you, Carlee. You can recharge yourself again, because it feels like maybe you've tried recharging yourself before, but it doesn't really stick, doesn't really stay. And that's because that energy was being pierced energetically and draining out of you. So you might find, especially over this next week or so, that you can refuel yourself better, recharge yourself in better and more sustainable ways that will keep your energy levels going for longer periods than previously. So this is energetic boost, power surge, rejuvenate, work with crystals if you're inspired to. In fact, I did see, when I was talking about massaging your face, I did see a little crystal that you might use to do that. So if you resonate with them or have any, that might be helpful. But just these little movements of massage might really help, and also through your scalp, just to help you connect with that space now that you've got in your head. Almost quite literally. Almost, but not quite. But thank you so much, Carlee. I trust that resonates. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today and for seeing this time through. I trust you've received something helpful. If you have had a healing experience, and if you were one of the people I connected with today, then I recommend that you drink lots of water, listen to your body, and be kind and gentle to yourself. And just go gently over these next few days. You might find that you have to, your next time that you sleep for the night, you might find that you sort of pass out. Sometimes the body does that to sort of clear out the residual old energy and bring or configurate itself into its new format, its new way of the stuff that's been changed and altered. So it's not uncommon for that to happen. So see how you go. If you've got questions or anything, please reach out through my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I look forward to connecting with those of you who want to be part of this next month. Towards the end of June, I'll let you know the dates when we get into June. And I will be back on Thursday for our Healing List event. So I might see you then. Take care of yourself and thank you so much. Goodbye.